Hello and welcome to So Bricks. I'm Adam
And I'm Missy.
and this is So Bricks. This is my channel for reviewing Lego sets and building them and other Lego related stuff. A special video today because we will be looking at the Lego Icons Botanical Collection Tiny Plants. It is set number 10329. It has 758 pieces and I paid $50 for this set. And I've talked about this in the past in some other videos. This was potentially a great set to share with another person, 1 to 3 people here, and there's different instruction manuals and everything else in here. And I've never done something like that, so I wanted it to share this. So I actually bought this set right when it came out, and we've just been waiting to make the video for it for quite some time here. So we're gonna try to make it work in this recording setup, and then maybe Missy will share some of their thoughts and I'll share my thoughts on this set. So I'm pretty excited. I love the botanical collection, so that's pretty good. So while we build, I think we're going to be working on stuff side by side independently. I'll be using the digital instructions and Missy will be using the physical instructions. But while we build, we will speed the video up and then we'll slow it back down to review this set. So until then, enjoy! Okay, so while we look at the build for this Lego Icons Botanical Collection Tiny Plants set, I just wanted to say thanks for watching and then remind you, if you like this video, click the thumbs up. If you like my other videos, click the subscribe button. That helps me a lot. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers, so every additional subscriber means a lot to me. I appreciate it. If you're not subscribed, maybe consider doing so. So, like I said, this was kind of a special video. Missy was here to help me. They are a little bit more inexperienced at Lego than I am, and maybe many people who view the channel, but it was still really, really enjoyable. It was something we were wanting to do for a while. Missy has has their own YouTube channel. They're not super active on there. They're more active on Instagram and on TikTok. They do a lot of sewing and vintage fashion kind of videos, and they also are a burlesque performer. I may do some sewing with Missy in the future, and depending on how that goes, maybe I will do a kind of face reveal and whatever else here, because I've never shown my face on my channel yet. But anyway, this wasn't a super collab in so far as it was. You know, we have pretty distinct channels and interests, but I just thank you for allowing me to do this. You know, it's something we wanted to do, and I'm glad. If you like it, appreciate it. If you don't, that's okay. It's not going to be a regular thing here. And then I wanted to talk about the build. So this is interesting because the pots or the terracotta planters that these tiny plants are in, there's 3 different sizes and there's 3 different builds, but you do each one 3 times. So those are pretty similar. There was this one that Missy is working on right here is I found a little bit tricky even, and so did they. And so I had to help a little bit there. So that was kind of interesting. We talk about that more in the full review. And then thinking about the actual plants build, I guess I didn't realize that these were kind of divided up, like a smallest one, a medium one, and a large one. And then there was rainforest plants for 3 of them. It was desert or arid kind of succulent-esque plants for another one. And then another group of 3 was carnivorous plants, which was really cool. There's some great part usages in this with different minifigure accessories and just all sorts of different parts. There's also a lot of recolors for this set, which I thought was very, very cool. And overall, it was a really enjoyable build. I don't talk about all of the botanical collection here. I've only covered a few of them. They are some of my favorites, but a lot of them I built actually before I started the channel. So it's a little bit different. I had this set since it came out, and we've just been kind of waiting to record a video about it for a long time, and we had to wait till we could get together and all of this other stuff. The setup for my recording here isn't the most appropriate for working side by side, but we made it work, and overall it was very, very fun. So I liked this a lot, and as we're finishing up this kind of final big tiny plant here in the bigger terracotta pot. This one's kind of I can't remember what kind of cactus this is, but it's really, really cool. It's maybe one of my favorites. I didn't get to build it, but we do talk a little bit about the build process and some of the part usage there and everything. So very, very cool for me. Thank you for indulging me. I'm glad I'm still comfortable and allowed to be able to, do different things and do stuff the way I want to do it here, which is very, very nice. So that's good. And as we're finishing up, thank you very much. And now on to my review, or our review, for this set. Okay, so that is the Lego Icons Botanical Collection Tiny Plants set. This is very fun. What did you think about it, Missy?
I had my fair share of struggles because I'm not very experienced with Lego, but oops.
But was it fun?
Yeah, and like when these bigger pots were more challenging, and when I got them right, it felt like I did something. It felt like I had an accomplishment.
Yeah, so there's a lot to look at here. I don't know if Missy's going to be here for the full review, but we're going to talk about it a little bit for a while. And there are no minifigures in this set, so we'll kind of go through this. And because we built this together, we were building some of these at the same time. And I built the first bag of pieces. So this was the first bag of pieces, and then this was the second bag of pieces, and then you built the third and the fourth, and then this was the fifth, and then this was the sixth. So there's 3 sizes of pots for these, for like our planters or little things, and I think they're supposed to look, what do you call that like ceramic, or that like clay? Terracotta, yeah. And so the smallest one is pretty simple, actually. It just uses this like barrel or bucket piece here that has like the molded in grooves and the banding, and then there's like kind of a Technic piece on top of that. Pretty straightforward. For this one, the first one you build here, it does have that like 6 stem piece under there, and then we just put these butterflies on there to kind of make it look like flower petals. What color are those butterflies?
Purple.
So those are purple, and it says this is Oxalis triangularis, and it could be mistaken for a large group of butterflies. So what better way to capture this plant's iconic look than by using the Lego butterfly in a brand new color? So that was a recolor for this set. So that's very cool. And then the next one, well, in terms of the smaller ones here, we have these 3. And I don't know what these other 2 are, and I don't remember the name of this one either. But so you do like 3 of each size of pot here, or planter, or whatever. And then there's a medium size here, which kind of looks like this. You want to hold yours? And this one is just, size comparison. It's a little bit bigger diameter or circumference. It's a little bit taller, a little more involved of the build, I would say. And then we add a little plant here. And these, I think there's a lot of really cool part usages in this set, but maybe these medium ones are the best. I mean, I think this is really cool because it kind of used these like melting cake topper pieces or something there. And then, well, I'll talk about this one here. And I believe this is supposed to be a jade plant, but sort of in a like a bonsai tree sort of way. And it's a very simple build, once you get the hang of the planter here. And I love the use of these hats. These are minifigure hats, which is one of many uses of like a minifigure accessory in this tiny plant set and in the botanical sets outside of this, which I think is really, really smart. It's one of my favorite things about the botanical line here. And so at a certain point, this is one of the sets that has little information throughout the booklets that you can read. So these hats are actually, they were first seen in a Newspaper Kid collectible minifigure. And that actually surprising to me, because I felt like this hat piece was maybe predated that minifigure there, because I think the Newspaper Kid collectible Lego minifigure is from like series 24. Do you remember what series it's from, Missy?
I think that one escapes my memory.
Oh, okay. And so that's really, really nice. And then the next one, the biggest pot, I thought the biggest pot was kind of challenging.
It was.
It's pretty, like once you get it, but even still, I was actually surprised. See, like that. I was actually surprised that Lego did this, and not that it's bad necessarily, but I was just like surprised by how this comes together.
I thought, because this is what made me feel proud about myself.
Yeah.
Because it was hard to put together. And then if you miss one little thing, then you have to take it all apart. And then, like I had to do with this one. But then I knew what to do for this one.
Yeah. Yeah, so this is the biggest planter here. And it's interesting. You start kind of building up the core of it, and you use a couple like 1x1s with clips. You build up kind of plates on top of plates, and then you have one of those octagonal kind of what do you use when you're steering like a sailboat? The steering wheel of the boat, like a pirate ship.
Oh yeah, like knobs. I don't know.
Okay. Well, anyway, you use one of those octagonal pieces with it's like a 2x2 round in the center, and then it has bar elements coming off of it. And you add that in there, and then you do these little sub-assemblies with these 1x4 with the rounded top, these kind of interesting bricks here. You can kind of see them there. And then they lean in. And then we do the sub-assemblies of these 4 kind of panels here, which aren't complicated at all, but getting these together, because you have to clip them in, and there's only one clip in there, and it's not in the exact center. You have to like just get it right. And then they kind of overlap these pieces. And I found, and I think you encountered it too, Missy, that like you might put one side in and then the other side pops off, and like getting to make sure these all kind of come down to a like almost touching this kind of round brick at the base of this was a little bit tricky, and it's kind of delicate, and it's a building technique like this, having like, okay, it's overlapping here, but then coming up here, it's a little different. I think it works really, really well for the shape. It's pretty inventive, and I'm also like question if it does put stress on any of the pieces, or I don't know if these things are clipped in 100%, or if there's like anything other tweak things I could do to kind of like make this a little better, because I can already see here, like over here, these 2 panels are closer than over here. So there's small little things like that. But I thought that was really interesting. Moving up kind of to the top lip, I thought this was fine, but I really liked how, we did the same kind of slope pieces as here, but no longer like angled. And then how these led up to just these bricks with the hole in the side, or the open stud on the side, because those are, just flat, but I actually feel like it works really, really well to round this out, tile up the top there. So you had to build this twice. I only had to build it once. You know, compared to the other ones, this was, I think, a little bit challenging and, you know, well designed and kind of done in a way that I wouldn't necessarily expect Lego to do, which is very fun. This is one that you wanted to build, and it's called lace leaves. So it says lace leaves are susceptible to pests like aphids or aphids and spider mites, so having a hungry ladybug in the pot is a good way to keep your plant healthy. So there is a ladybug print in there. You do get an extra one of those, which is nice. And so apparently these are called lace leaves, I think, or anthurium, but it's known by other names like painter's palette and flamingo flower. And this is cool. There's not like crazy piece usages here. I mean, these leaves are just leaves essentially, a couple bar elements in there, the extended hilt that's like symmetrical, but up at the top where for the actual flower part is really well done. And we use a couple of these curved like barb elements here in the red, or like those bullhorn type things, and then these shell pieces which are so cool and have been used in many different ways, but I think they work really, really well for this, which is terrific. So those are the first three here. And then Missy, do you want to share any thoughts about the actual like flower stuff that you built for bags, you know, three and four, because we don't need to necessarily talk about the planter, you know, the pot, the terracotta again. We can kind of just talk about the build for the flowers. Do you have any thoughts?
I don't think I have anything useful
Okay.
to bring to the conversation.
So I think, so this is a Venus flytrap, which I think is great. I love that color. What is that? It's kind of
like a magenta kind of.
Okay. It's a shame that it can't like close up all the way and have it kind of interlocking.
Yeah, that would have been way cooler.
So that's a bit of a bummer. I think the use of these like frosting pieces or cake topper pieces, which I think that is what they are, is nice. This might be a recolor for that. Oh, you have some misaligned tiles under there. The fern pieces are good here. Pretty simple, pretty cute. I was at a brick convention a while ago, and somebody at their exhibit, not the one we went to together, but that same one a year prior, there was a exhibitor who like very much focused on carnivorous plants or like poisonous plants or like dangerous botanical things, and I thought it was so cool. And for Lego to like move into that a little bit, I think that's smart and fun. This is obviously like very small, but actually scale wise, you know, compared to some of these other ones, like Jade, unless it's a very baby Jade, is bigger than this. Venus flytraps are pretty small, I think. And then, so that one's comes together pretty quickly. The next one is called, oh yeah, it says here it was a cake frosting, but this is the first time it has been used in lime green. And now, you built, these are all carnivorous plants.
Really?
Yeah, so this one uses thousands of tiny hairs, each tipped with a bead of sticky liquid to trap its prey. Once the insect is stuck in the leaves, they will curl inwards around the unsuspecting little bug. And I wonder, okay, this one is red Sundew, native to the southeastern United States. So that's the medium-sized one there. What do you think about that one?
I think using the hairbrush piece is a good choice.
Yeah.
But it's so like brownish, or so it's not like, looking at the picture of it, it should have been more pink, I think.
Oh, like maybe the hairbrushes should be?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I can't
Or maybe that's supposed to be what's up here.
Yeah, but it's hard to
because I
even
can't.
see that.
Yeah, I can't see like where it comes up, like where the red stem comes up, and then.
Yeah.
But maybe we just can't see in the picture that these hairbrush pieces are below that.
Yeah, it could be. I think, yeah, again, using the minifigure accessories here is really, really smart. And I don't think this is a recolor. I think the brown brush probably existed, but I do know that this is a recolor. And it's kind of like a pale pink.
Mm-hmm.
And what do they call them? Epaulets. But like if you were a pirate might have them, or like a general, like an old like Civil War general.
Yeah,
they're like shoulder pads,
yes.
but like decorative, and they flipped upside down. Now, I actually think that those epaulet pieces have been used before in a different botanical set, but not in this color. And I'd have to go look. It might be the dried flower centerpiece, if my memory's correct. I thought, I'm pretty sure there's another one that uses those, but I think it's good here. This one's maybe my least favorite out of all of them, just because it feels kind of just bare and small.
Yeah.
And it seemed from the picture of the actual plant that it was like more like, this seems to be like one, and normally it'd be like there'd be several of these. So I don't know if all these hairbrush, like if this bug lands up here and then all these are supposed to fold up around that, and the scale isn't great about that. And I don't know. I think
if that were true, then this would have needed to be shorter.
For sure.
That to read.
And then, here's stuff. You could have done it in French. Est-ce que c'est son? And then the next one, we have the one with the biggest pot. And this is another one you did, which I don't know if you struggled with or not.
I struggled with the pot for this one because this was my first time doing this kind. Other than that, it was really pretty easy, except for up here I wasn't following directions and I thought that these went a different way.
Yeah.
Which they could go a different way, in my opinion.
They could.
But if we're following directions, then...
And also, I mean, look at it's a yellow pitcher plant. Now, and I kind of forgot about this. It could be that maybe these epaulets or hairbrushes were used in the Lego Friends Botanical Garden. Because I believe... I don't know if it used these pieces, but this pitcher plant, another carnivorous plant, does have some other minifigure kind of accessories here. So right here for the actual the base of the pitcher uses what do they call those? Like the bottom of a broom, but the bristles, the broom bristle. Then up here, I usually refer to this as like a pith helmet, but it's like it's like a safari hat, right?
Yeah, or like a hard hat.
Well, right, but it's Lego hard hats don't look. They're
different.
This is a different.
Okay.
This is like.
Oh yeah, that's definitely
like a
safari hat.
A safari hat, but I think this is a new color. And is this green or is it like a pale yellow?
It's a pale green.
Oh, a pale green. I probably have been calling that color yellow in every one of my other videos. And so that's good. I think this one's cool. Mm-hmm. The Botanical Garden Friends set had pitcher plants, but I believed they used recolored minifigure saxophones. And it's cool. I'm glad they did it a little bit different here. There's no real consistency between all of these from plant to plant, but they do all look kind of neat together. So those were the three carnivorous ones. And I suppose I don't know if these three were all supposed to be together as well. And then maybe these are all like succulents. So maybe it's
Oh,
like
yeah.
3, 3, and 3.
Mm-hmm.
Because what? So false shamrock, Laceleaf, and Jade, are those all tropical rainforest? Maybe. Okay. I was okay. That's fine. But I do believe that these next 3 are all succulents here, which is cool
Or
because
desert plants.
yeah, sure, because there is already a Lego succulent botanical set, which is another one that could be shared with other people, and I have that one, but that was like actually the first botanical one I ever built. So we have something similar to that, but not quite the same. So I built the 2 smaller ones, which is this one is this, right?
Yeah.
So this is Britton's Liveforever, Baja California, Mexico. Pretty simple, but for some reason for me, this one's just more appealing than this one. It does use, actually, there are parts of this, like this one just uses normal leaves. This one uses some like floral pieces and stuff. This one uses the fern pieces. These are all like, this is a leaf piece. This isn't, I call it like a tooth piece or something like that, a modified plate. This is a leaf piece that's used for a lot, and this is like a flower stud. So this one uses the most kind of the pieces that you would expect to find in a botanical set. What colors do we have here?
Purple, pastel purple, pastel blue, and then this one is probably like a pastel turquoise.
Oh. Nice. So I like that one a lot. The next one is the Eastern Prickly Pear, which is a cactus. And again, the scale wise, I would assume this is bigger than whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But this one's pretty cool. I thought the build was a little bit unique because you kind of build all of this in a straight line, and then and you kind of have it. Let me see here. You kind of build it like this, and then they tell you to, like make it, I think, look more organic and kind of make it look more cactus like. So you can kind of separate these out a little bit. Whoops. And this one's pretty good. There's no stickers in this set. I don't think there are ever stickers in Lego Botanical sets so far. Is that right? I think so. And so this one has prints. So these kind of cactus things are prints there. And now that I'm thinking about it, did they use these in another set? I might have seen these used in a different set later, but I can't remember now. It's never going to come to me. So that's interesting if they have reused them, because I don't know, prints potentially are not super transferable depending on how specific they are, but these are common enough. It just looks like it's got little spikes all over it, and so they're printed on these 2x2 round tiles, which is nice. And then we have a little like eggshell piece here for a flower, and inside there, I think that's kind of like a coral sea anemone type piece, but I think they make that piece in a lot of different colors. I do not know if this is specifically a recolor, and I don't believe the I don't believe that's a recolor, but this is interesting. So to get the gradient for this one, that tooth piece is a new color, and they say it's lovely light lavender.
Oh.
And then for this prickly pear, their new sandy green color, which feature a fun new spiky deco to capture the look. And so I Yeah, it doesn't say if they use this again. I swear I saw them use this again. And I have no idea where. But I'm almost positive they did.
I like how this looks like a crown.
Yeah.
And it looks like it's like a king cactus.
A queen.
A king or queen.
Yeah. And then the last one you also got to do, which that one might have the most pieces out of any of these. This might be like the most piece intensive.
Yeah, there were lots of little pieces. This one might be my favorite one to look at. I had a ridiculous struggle with putting these circular pieces on because I couldn't figure out where I could push them into.
Yeah, I think studying those down. You haven't built very much Lego, and I build a lot of Lego. And so, yeah, it might not be like immediately, but I think you got it pretty good. And even if I had to help a little bit, that's okay. And I do like this one a lot too. This feels almost scale. Like I think I have some of these downstairs that are probably about this size. What colors do we have in here? Like, is this just a...
This is like a light green. Or lime green, I guess. I think it's the same color as these.
Okay. Is it the same as the brooms? No?
It might be.
Okay.
Darker pink, lighter pink, beige.
Yeah. This one looks really, really good. It kind of has like that organized, chaotic kind of thing, and has kind of a... Sometimes plants will have like weird mathematical kind of things to them, and this feels like that to me. It feels like it does feel really organic. I think something about this one feels kind of inorganic to me. Some of these other ones I feel work pretty well. This one's maybe one of the better ones. And as far as like, this one might be one of the ones that you could look at it and be like, oh, that's not Lego. All of these have a little bit of that, I would say, if someone's not like terribly familiar with Lego, because there's not a ton of visible studs. So on this one there is a couple. This one has a couple, but there's some interesting stuff in here that makes this feel even a little bit better than I thought it was going to, I would say. So I really liked all of these, even though I didn't build all of them. In terms of the build experience, I think they were pretty good. I don't know, at least for me, it seemed like there was different techniques used. It didn't feel like it was super repetitive to me. So I don't know if you had thoughts about any of the repetition, because like for yours, you kind of had to do like these, multiple times. You had to make 4 of the same thing essentially here. And for this one, you had to do that a little bit too.
Well, whenever there was some repetition, I appreciated it because it was something that I knew how to do because I had done it before. Yeah.
Well, that's true. I kind of find it meditative and stuff. Oh, this says this is a lovely crown of flowers in vivid colors too. So maybe this one is a queen or a king, and then this one's a different one. So that's kind of everything here. I think this tiny pot is very, very tiny. I do hope Lego continues to do pots for the botanicals. The bouquet sets are nice, and I actually I got somebody's plans off of Rebrickable or Brickset or something to build some like vases or like holders for the botanical bouquets, but the bonsai tree having the like stand for it is great. The orchid having the pot built into it is great. The birds of paradise, which I think is maybe one that less people have, has a really, really nice pot to it. The succulents works really well. These work really well. The piranha plant from Mario has that, which is nice. And now they're doing some vaguely botanical stuff in Disney for like Encanto, and I really want to get that one. It does look like another orchid, but the pot, the planter, looks really, really cool and involved of a build. So I'm excited about that. Friends has done some things that are like a little different, like these flowers, which I've shown on the channel before, and these ones which I've showed before, which I like, and this one has like a little pot as well, which is good. But I think this tiny plant set was a smart idea executed pretty well overall. I'll show the extra pieces here because you do get a fair amount. I think that's pretty common with the botanical collections, especially when we're working on even more miniaturized scale. So we do have a fair bit of extra pieces. This one kind of surprised me. I'm not sure if we typically get an extra one of those or not, but you didn't miss any, so we do get an extra one. Get an extra of like the ladybug print, some of these flower pieces, your 1x1s, your studs, your tiles, the droid arm in the red there. Oh yeah, there's a translucent tile in here, which I think is supposed to be like the liquid enzyme goo that's in the middle of the pitcher plants there.
The stuff that attracts their
victims.
victims.
Yeah. And so these are all the extra pieces, a good amount of extra pieces here. Good to get the extra epaulette in pink. That's probably a somewhat rare color there. And the rest of this is all pretty good. I could always use an extra ladybug print. So good to get those. And this set is 758 pieces. And it retails for $50. That's what I paid for it. That's a good price for the botanical collection to live in, I think. $50 feels really, really nice. You do get a good amount of Lego in here. Price per piece for this and for other botanical sets is like way better than 10 cents per piece. However, a lot of these are small pieces. There's a lot of extra pieces, so a lot of 1x1s. So, you know, that not each one of these little flower pieces or each one of these studs is going to be worth 10 cents per piece, but we're pretty far out of that. This is not a $75 set. It's not even a $70 set. I think $50 is pretty fair. If I was going to argue that it wasn't, I mean, obviously I would like Lego to be cheaper. If there's a way to break this down, like the 9 of these into essentially being $5 per flower or for like pot here, would get us down to 45. And then I think you could say like, okay, well maybe this one's not $5 or this one, and the bigger ones are a little bit more than $5, but you could kind of make that work. So maybe 45 would have been a great price for this. There are recolors in here. There are new prints in here. So it's, you know, I don't feel terrible about it. I never really feel that bad about the value proposition that the Botanicals line provides to me. So as far as price and value goes, you know, I think it's pretty good. The build experience was good. It took us a good amount of time to build. I thought if I was building it by myself, I might have gotten it done quicker, but we were working at the same time, so maybe not. And I think they're really fun. I think they look really great. I would love to just have these, you know, around on a bookshelf or on a little end table or anywhere. I don't know. I really, really like these, and I don't think the value is too bad. I would always love Lego to be cheaper, but this feels pretty fair, all things considered. Do you have anything else you want to add? I just want to thank Missy for doing this with me. This was fun. I've been saving this set for a long time, and there's been many times where I have been alone and been like, I am just going to build it. And then I pick a different set to build and review instead because I really wanted to build this with you. And so I'm really, really happy we were able to do this. I'm glad you could experience some Lego building and we could do it together and you could share a little bit of your thoughts. So I'm just very, very grateful that you were here to share this with me. And I think that's everything, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so if you like this video, please click the thumbs up and give it a like. If you like my other videos, click the subscribe button down below so you can stay up to date on all the Lego videos I'll be doing here in the future, including more Lego Botanical sets. I have to get the Rose set yet, and I think there are more botanicals coming this year. There's a few that I don't have yet. And actually, like the cherry blossoms, that is like a smaller one I think I have to do. But I thought I bought that one. I might have to find it. And then, I don't know. I'm going to be doing more botanicals, more icons, tons of other Lego sets from all different themes, all different shape, size, price point, piece count, tons of different stuff. So subscribe so you don't miss any of those upcoming Lego videos. We are on the road to 1,000 subscribers. So I appreciate all the help to get there. Thank you anybody who is subscribed. If you're not subscribed, maybe consider doing it. It is free and it's pretty low stakes. So if you click the subscribe button, that means a lot to me. I appreciate it. And then if you wanted to support this channel in a different way, you could do that here on YouTube with membership, supers, and thanks. And I have the Patreon. It's in the video description. It's on my channel page, patreon.com/sobricks. So maybe consider checking those things out. Again, it helps me a lot and it is very much appreciated. So thank you very much. And with all of that said, until next time, thanks. Bye.